Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're taking a break from characters and jumping onto something that will help you as a general designer, the subject being composition. Composition is a wide-ranging term that has different meanings for different subjects. In visual design, however, I would define composition as the placement of information in relation to an audience. This information being the elements we have already discussed before, such as lines and shapes, but also how we present this information to someone and what we're trying to get across. Let's jump right into an example. Here you see a graphic illustration filled with a variety of different shapes that I made. I bet you looked at this image first, and you really did not know where to start. I can't blame you. The image has many shapes, all with similar sizes, no emphasis of where to start, the negative space is also not being used properly, no indication of balance. Overall, it looks and feels like a mess because we're unable to connect with the illustration and therefore we don't actually have any interest. Now let me convey some tools and ideas that I learned in art school which could help improve the above composition. Rather than me talking about it, I will let the drawings do the talking mostly. Each of these design tools can help elevate a composition and create not only a sense of clarity, but also generate interest. Depending on what you're trying to do, you can use these tools to help achieve specific goals. With the above image, I tallied up all the shapes and placed them on the side. Knowing with what to work with, I'm going to use the same number of shapes, but put these tools into action and see what I can come up with. My second design incorporates 4 of these tools. I focused on using balance, negative space, color, and hierarchy as the focus. I used negative space and the alignment of all the objects from top to bottom, plus the size to create a neat composition. The way everything is presented is neat and tidy. I also use color and hierarchy together, creating a gradation of grays from the darkest left to the lightest light towards the right. Of course, despite me using 4 elements of design, I naturally see many other elements in use, such as repetition, contrast, and scale. For the third illustration, I focused on contrast, scale, emphasis, and repetition. I use scale and contrast together, which you can see with the dark square that has a small tiny square in it. The level of contrast and the size is high enough where it acts as a landing zone for your eyes with the first glance. I wanted that to be where the emphasis was placed. From there, I went about creating repetition of dark and white shapes in an alternative manner. This helped create motion, but did not detract from the main emphasis point. For this last one, I wanted to create a composition that included all of the elements in one picture. Can you guess where and how I used all the shapes? Feel free to pause the video for that. Remember, the placement of objects, symbols, information, and overall aesthetics is important these days. You see it all around you in the form of infographics, graphic design, logos, emails, books, posters, and even on the web. Next time you go outside, pay attention to some graphics and how it's all presented to you. The last big compositional rule that I want to address is the rule of thirds. Commonly used in photography, it basically divides a picture up into 3 pieces both vertically and horizontally. After dividing, it presents 4 intersecting points. These intersecting points are alternative areas of placement of objects or subjects. It's better than placing your main subject at dead center of the image. It really depends on what you're trying to accomplish, as it's not a golden rule. It acts as a guide to cause misdirection for the eyes. Naturally, our minds tend to wander directly to the center of any image. By placing points of interest in different areas, you generate an active balance which allows someone to move their eyes around the page. Take a look at these images, for example. However, these are only simple shapes. But what if we do something a bit more complicated like landscapes or environments? Here are some thumbnails I'm creating. I'm starting off by writing down what I want to illustrate. In this case, the first image is a sunset. The goal I'm trying to reach is how simply can I illustrate a sunset with the techniques discussed in this video, as well as the knowledge of all the other previous videos. I use this setup for every thumbnail that I create after. As I write and draw, I want you to ask yourself, am I achieving the results with the amount of information that I'm providing? I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you get a chance to look at other designs like front covers of your favorite novels, or posters of your favorite movies, or even brochures that you receive by mail, see how things are laid out. Trust me, it will really help you understand composition concepts faster. You'll be surprised at how much you can learn from existing drawings. See how you can use each design tool to your advantage when composing. If you do go outside, however, please make sure to be safe to not only yourself but to others as well, especially during these difficult times with COVID. Hope to see you next week. Bye bye.